What if everything that I'm going through right now is preparing me for a dream bigger than I can imagine? Here we go. So this is book number 14 of Ratlife University. Now you're gonna notice a couple things in this video. Number 1, look at this. Look at that, that's pretty sweet. Now, don't get me wrong, it's a first draft of the university apparel. I could go on and critique it all day in terms of the, inconsistent separation of the letters, in terms of how small they are, in terms of the bagginess of the sweater. There's a laundry list of things that, could be improved in the first mock run, the beta, the draft of when you launch a product. But the really cool part about something like this, Ratlife University apparel, right? A nice, amazing, comfortable, luscious sweatshirt is all of a sudden it makes the dream real. It's like when I started Ratlife as the pre-workout company, and then let me turn the AC off one sec. When I started Ratlife as the pre-workout company, it was just written on a piece of paper. So I just had the label, I had the design, I had the logo, I had the description, I had the active ingredients. It was just words. But all of a sudden, once you write it down, it becomes tangible. And then all of a sudden, when you actually have the product, I don't have one near me, come to life, then it becomes really real. Because in any business, in any company, vision, enterprise that you guys do, you need something for people to touch, for people to identify with. It's like people don't buy the Apple computer because, for the RAM or for the processing system or for, any of its gigabytes of storage. They buy it for the status symbol of, at least they used to, of what Apple represents, right? Which since inception, it was the battle against the status quo. Not to go on a tangent before we get into the book, number 14 of Ratlife University, but Apple computers, their original, it was like a 1984 ad for the Olympics. And it's of a woman like throwing something at a screen and shattering it. And the idea was, back then, the computers were only privy to big corporations. And so what Steve Jobs and the Apple team did is they made computers accessible to the average Joe Schmo, an average small business owner. Like, why not give this technology, resource to everyone, right? So that's what Apple has always been. That was their why, to be against the status quo. Nice. Next thing you're going to notice are, look at these lights. Look at these lights. So we're trying something different in the sense I still have the kitchen lights on, but I turned the lamp thing that's usually on above me off. And I think what I might do in the future, number 1, is record when it's dark, because as you can see, the sun is out outside, and then turn these top ones off, and then keep these bottom ones on, because then it creates a nice accented light situation. But it is a start. We had to do a makeshift ladder in order to reach the top, but needless to say, the production quality of these videos are ever improving. Now, the book, The Monk Who Sold His Ferrari by Robin Sharma. Robin Sharma. Now, I'll be honest, it is a very, very, very elementary book on personal development. Like, a lot of the things that I went over in it when I was reading it are incredibly redundant. And the way that it's written, it's quite old. It's from 1997, I believe it was published. It's very, I don't want to say childlike, but relative to the other monster textbooks that are like so dominant in personal development of the best literature ever written, it's quite novice, it's quite elementary, it's quite amateur. However, a lot of the things in there, when I go over them in my notes and share them with you, you can probably appreciate, just because a lot of the things are so basic, and to me, 11 years into my personal development journey, they're so redundant, but to the common person, to the average Joe, the average person working the 9-to-5 rat life, to them, it's probably overlooked. It's probably little things that they don't do. It's probably things that they've never done, in terms of being alone, in terms of writing down their goals, in terms of controlling the negativity of their thoughts, in terms of, taking action, willpower. All these tiny little things, to me, have already become habit. They've already become my personality. They've already become my character. They're already shaping my destiny. But to other people, just starting on their journey of personal development, perhaps it's not so obvious. And a lot of the things that are common sense seldom are common practice, and they're so different. Knowledge not applied is useless. It's not actual knowledge. There was a good quote from, I don't know if we've gone over the book yet, but the idea that new knowledge necessarily, I think it was Jim Rohn who said it, doesn't necessarily mean learning something new. It means learning to behave in a way that we haven't before. Nice. So I actually wrote down all of my notes for this lecture because when it comes to retention, the best way that you can actually retain information, number one, the lowest form is by what you hear, then it's by what you read, then it's from taking notes on what you've read. Reading those notes helps solidify it even more. Discussing it helps. Demonstrating it helps. And then teaching is the highest form. So I like to get as many of those tiers as I can because I don't learn shit if I just hear it. I need to see it, I need to touch it, I need to feel it. But the way that I learn the best is by taking notes, reading the notes, first you read the book, right? Then you can go and you can highlight if you want, and then you come back and then you transcribe, you take all of your highlighted notes and then put them into your journal along with your own commentary and reflections and insights and notes. Then reading that list and then discussing it and then teaching it. All of those things help solidify the learning in your own. Look at that, that's pretty awesome. I just got it, so I was like, I'm wearing it today. It just came in the mail like less than an hour ago. Help solidify it into your mind. Got it? So, book number 14, The Monk Who Sold His Ferrari by Robin Sharma. So, there's a good quote, and it's from this book. It's actually by Winston Churchill. And that was another thing that kind of not bothered me to, raise my cortisol, but bothered me in the sense of it's written in story form, and a lot of the quotes and ideologies and insights, it's just plagiarism. It's just old adages and old mantras that are, not the storyteller's own, that were coined as if they were his own, thoughts and lens and perspective. And so to that, there was such a less degree of authenticity when I read the book. But there's still golden nuggets. You gotta understand, in the books that are gonna be in this university, some of them, the totality of them aren't incredible. And whenever you're reading a book, you should be going into it as a student to get the gold out of it. As in, if there's just one paragraph or one line, that could be enough to make this book the best book ever. At least the best book ever in regards to the application of it into your life. But don't take any of the words of any of these books at face value. You know what I'm saying? Be critical. Think for yourself. Ask critical questions. It presents you with information. Sift through it. Think of yourself like a miner, sifting, panhandling for the gold. Got it? Or at least I will be, as your professor of this university, this noble quest. Book number 14 out of 1,000. Here we go. Quote from Winston Churchill: "As long as we have faith in our own cause and an unconquerable will to win, victory will not be denied us." And when I read that, I thought of this noble quest and I thought of a woman. As long as we have faith in our own cause and an unconquerable will to win, you're indefatigable. You cannot be fatigued. Whatever it takes, right? Perseverance. Do or die trying. Victory will not be denied us. Incredible. Had to include that. Another quote: "An underlying peacefulness gave him an almost divine presence." I've noticed when I'm at my best, it's when I'm able to be the most calm, the most relaxed, walk very, very slow. I'm not in a rush. And as a result, I'm the most present. And I find that that's when you know you're in a very, very good place. If you constantly feel like you're in a rush, if you constantly feel like, I have to be super fast, I'm out of time, you need to slow down. You need to take a step back and recalibrate. Not in a good place, right? An underlying peacefulness gave him an almost divine presence. And I've also noticed it with women, where if I have a conversation, say for example, it's anywhere at a gym, or there's a cashier or whoever, and they're like, "Hey, how are you?" So when I'm at my best, I'll literally stop, like with a long pause. "Yeah, I'm doing pretty good. How are you doing?" And it's such a 180 on their script, because people are used to just saying the formalities. "Hey, how are you?" "Fine, thanks," right? But it's so different when their person is actually present. They're actually there. They're actually not just regurgitating or just waiting for their turn to speak, but they're actually having the dialogue, the conversation. So I thought that was really, really neat too. Next, Savannah. So that's the location of this book where the monk who sold his Ferrari, he goes off to this place in India called Savannah to live in the Himalayan mountains with these monks. And I like the idea of what he called it, an oasis of enlightenment. And then there's another quote. Upon learning these timeless truths, you must return to your homeland in the West and share the wisdom with all those who need to hear it. We are aware of the turmoil your world is in. Good people are losing their way. You must give them hope that they deserve. And when I thought of that, or when I read that, all I thought of was this cause of Ratlife University. Just the other fucking day at my 9-to-5 Ratlife job, I had to sit through the most absurd ridiculousness of, they were putting on a festivity and event, and they called it Hispanic culture, wear Hispanic culture attire. And one bitch of my company was enough of a complaint to be offended by those words that they had to put on an entire presentation in front of the entire district to change and the solution to this was to change the word heritage or culture to heritage. They were saying Hispanic culture attire, and this fucking joke of leadership. It makes me so irritated when I think of it. But when I was there, number one, I was so irate. I was so livid. I was like, this is such a fucking joke. This is ridiculous. But all I could do was step back and say, and that's the reason for this quote, you must return to your homeland in the West and share the wisdom with all those who need to hear it. We are aware of the turmoil your world is in. Good people are losing their way. You must give them hope that they deserve. I said, this presentation that I'm sitting through right now, this is what my university will never fucking be. Because my university will be predicated on the truth. None of this bullshit that we're doing today. As in, they said, we reached out to the diversity, equity, and inclusion ambassador to glean guidance on proper context of what we should say as to not be offensive. I said, shut the fuck up. That's all I could think about. I was like, this is such a fucking joke for one piece of shit. Bitch. Cuck. But it's not him, it's what he reflects. He reflects this modern, woke, feminist, left ideology garbage that's plaguing modern day education. The amount that modern day university has been liberalized, has been weaponized, has been woke, has been this cancel culture, this cancer in education. Who's the casualty? The fucking students. They're not learning shit. They're going to school to learn this garbage, to come out to be these hateful fucking idiots, right? That's not what Ratlife University is going to be about. That's not what we're predicated on. We're predicated on discussion, humility, the truth, honesty, principle, etiquette, integrity, character, merit, what it means to be a fucking man, a good man. And part of being a good man is standing up for what you believe in, even if you're standing alone. And when I watched that entire presentation, what I was in awe of, it was how none of the leadership of the organization stood up. And it dawned on me today. I was like, I didn't know until today that I was the alpha of the organization. I didn't know that because I have superiors. I have, people with their made up titles, manager, director, coordinator, superintendent, all of these made up titles in the workplace that outside of this one office don't mean shit. And you're sitting there and you're just like, how the fuck are none of you, how do you deem yourself a leader, let alone a man, when you can just stand idle and watch this shit persist, right? It's this beta cuck world where these men are hyper feminine. There's no masculinity today. There's no actual leadership and role models of what it means to be a good fucking man. And that was one of the videos that I did in one of the first lectures. I said, I'm going to make men what they used to be in this university. People who have merit that is founded on character, discipline, integrity, work ethic, your word meaning something, lost fucking virtues in the world that we live in today. And so when I saw that, I just couldn't believe it. I couldn't believe that I was the leader amongst the fucking leaders of people 10, 20, 30 years my senior, right? And I said, not here. I said, this is a joke in and of itself. I don't give a shit about this room. I said, what does this represent? What does this reflect, right? Millions of fucking people, millions of weak people, a plethora of male cowardice is what I saw, right? That's exactly the severity of that quote. As in, we are so lost. We've gone so far astray. How the fuck are these people standing idle? It's sheer fear and cowardice to comply to this bullshit ideology. And if you're not perspicacious, if you don't stand guardway at the doorway of your mind, not only will you be the casualty and you will be a perpetual slave in your life, your kids' freedom is threatened, right? And I had this conversation with my coworker. I said, this is the importance of financial prosperity and your pursuit of financial abundance and freedom. I said, if you're relying on the government for a paycheck, right, you don't even have the freedom to speak the truth, right? If you can't send your kid and afford to send them to a private school where they're not learning this garbage, they're fucked. And so when I was observing all of this, I said, all it did was reignite, refuel the fire of why I'm doing this university, of why it's not my ability to, it's my responsibility to. I've been charged to do this because somebody has to be the fucking voice for good, for freedom, for what's right in the world that we live in today that's going down fucking hill, right? Bring back learning and real education to what it used to be, right? By giving people the key to their freedom, the key to their escape. Freedom forever, right? Not indoctrination into this left, feminist, fucking garbage, woke culture ideology garbage, where you're gonna find women hyper-masculine, men hyper-feminine. The whole fucking system and home unit is just going to the gutter. And who's the casualty, dude? Your kids, right? You, to live a life of perpetual slavery. That's the casualty. So, very important. Got that from this book. Here we go. You must give them the tools to fulfill their dreams. And I thought, literally the tools to fulfill their dreams. The key to their escape. You must give them hope, belief, through your courageous pursuit and resolve to get up every time you're found shattered on the rocks. And I quoted that quote from Alexander Dumas, The Count of Monte Cristo. Life is a storm, my young friend. You will bask in the sunlight one moment, be shattered on the rocks the next. What makes you a man is what you do when that storm comes. You must look into that storm and shout, do your worst, for I will do mine. And the fates will know you as we know you, as Albert the man. It's the same thing, man, is to get back up, even if you're shattered on the rocks. And then I put Isaiah 6:8, which is the quote. And then I heard the voice of the Lord saying, and whom shall go for us? Whom shall I send? And I said, here am I, send me. That's exactly how I feel with this quest within this university, right? Something I've been charged with, something that I've been called to do. And I love the idea that God doesn't call the qualified, he qualifies the called. It's awesome. And I said, you must give them the key to their escape. You were the one sent. You know what I'm saying? And I quoted one of my favorite shows, Spartacus. I said, you were the one sent and I in need of saving. It's crazy, man. Quote, but I have learned that self-mastery and the consistent care of one's mind, body, and soul are essential to finding one's highest self and living the life of one's dreams. Questions. How can you care for others if you cannot even care for yourself? These are honest questions to ask yourself, right? Because I had another conversation with a coworker who we were talking about our, prerogatives, what our, focus is on. And I said, mine is on being a provider, a protector and a provider. It's about something that I'm dissatisfied with in my current predicament, current circumstance, is my financial, status, state, income, right? And then he said, money doesn't matter, bro. And I said, it took me for a 180. When you're speaking to someone with that mindset and that mentality, the first thing I thought of was stand guardway at the doorway of your mind. And then they presume to give you advice and counsel. And then I have to stand guardway again and say, be careful who you take advice from. Number one, see if that person is living the life that you want to live. Do not waste energy explaining your dream, your vision, your goals, your prerogative to people who have a life you do not want to have, right? Number one, don't take advice from someone who's living a life you don't want to have because they're the physical embodiment of their ideologies, right? And so for this person to call himself a man who is saying, money doesn't matter, bro, I was like, how incredibly fucking selfish to the people you say you care about. You could be giving them so much more, but your lazy fucking ass is living paycheck to paycheck, right? And you call yourself a man, you call yourself a provider for your kids when you can't even afford a fucking haircut, literally living paycheck to paycheck, probably drowning in debt, right? And you have 4 kids and a woman and an ex-wife. And I said, how the fuck you have no sense of urgency is bewilderment, but you have the time to go to festivals and do this stupid shit? I said in my mind after the fact, when I thought about it so much, I was like, I was thankful to God, number one. I was like, I'm so thankful that I have my fucking priorities straight. I was like, I have a very high degree of urgency to become the best protector, the best provider that I possibly can. And seeing people who don't understand that, it's not about the fucking money. Number one, it's about the freedom. But number two, it's about life is about not what you get, but about who you become and what you're able to give now that you've become more. You're fucking useless to the people that you care about if you cannot even care for yourself. And so when I saw that, I was so proud. And I thought about that yesterday during my training at the gym at 4 a.m. I said, I fucking love the man I'm becoming. I really said that. I said, I fucking love me. Dude, I get up at 3 in the morning. I go do my fasted cardio. And then I go do at 4:30, 5 a.m., I go do my second workout. I get home after 2 training sessions before other people are even awake, right? And then what I'm doing with this noble quest, with this university, giving people the key to their escape, giving people a home, giving people the key to their freedom forever, right? Giving people the real education you're never taught in school. Giving people the key to escape slavery, right? To free their mind, right? To transform their life in and out of the gym, in and out of these YouTube videos, but to live a life of fucking freedom in the one that you have. And I was just so proud. I was like, this is such a worthy cause. This is such a noble quest. I will never be able to give any person I love or care about a greater gift than this. You or your kids watching this will be either enrolled in my university or be wanting access to my library in this university, because every single one of these books will be able to help you and your kid be free forever, right? So by the time they're 18, they can avoid the mortgage trap, the student loan debt trap, the car financing trap, the credit card trap, drowning in debt, living paycheck to paycheck, like a fucking rat in a maze, right? Rat in a wheel until you die. Right? Because that's what they want you in the system, a cog in a wheel, a rat in a maze, right? Living paycheck to paycheck, broke as fuck, paying your taxes when they can print money infinitely, working as a slave until you die. And so when I look at people who try to give me advice who have a life I don't want to have to stand guard way at the doorway of my mind. And I'm so thankful and grateful that I have that discipline and I have that mindset, right? It's what is going to separate you, because these people, advice, my good friend Ricardo told me, advice is free, man. It's free. Don't heed, be very careful who you take advice from. But ask yourself those questions. The person giving me the advice, do I want to live their life that they're living? Because they are the result of their thoughts, right? Do I want to be broke? Do I want to be a shitty provider to my family, to the people I say I care about? Fuck no, right? This isn't about me. I don't want to have your life. I don't want to adopt your ideology. Go fuck yourself. Next, how can you do good if you don't even feel good? I cannot love you if I cannot love myself. That's what I say in terms of the simplicity of this book. It's simple ideologies that they don't persist in a lot of people's mindset and mentalities today. But a lot of this is, like I said, common sense or things that I just have adopted for years now, that it's something that it just seems so, like I said, redundant, but still golden. And it's still a nice, reflection piece. Next. Every one of us must know of the perfection that is their natural state. And I love that. That's the idea of enlightenment, is your natural state. They only heal, they were talking about a surgeon, a plastic surgeon, because this guy had a complete transformation. He looked way younger. And he said, did you get plastic surgery? He said, they only heal the outer person. I needed to be healed from within. And I just thought that was very true. When you look at people who are hateful, who are spiteful, who project all of their garbage and insecurities, it's just reflective and evident of people who do not love themselves. So it's very important from the book, The 4 Agreements by Don Miguel Ruiz. You do not take things personally, right? Don't take things personally. It's not about you, right? More often than not. Just like this cup, you seem to be full of your own ideas. How can any more go in until you first empty your cup? So the image was, he was pouring himself tea when he came over to his friend's place to, help him with his transformation. And he kept pouring and pouring until the cup was full. And then he kept pouring and pouring and pouring until it was this. And then he's like, what are you doing? And he said that exact quote, just like this cup, you seem to be full of your own ideas. And how can any more go in until you first empty your cup? And what's interesting is the same person who told me that money doesn't matter, bro, was somebody who was preaching to me about being a person with the lack of ability to listen and to consider other people's counsel, his own. But I said, the great irony is you speak of, not being in a place to receive, but you're not listening at all to anything that I'm saying. And what you're going to find is with a lot of people, they have a lot to say and it masks their own insecurities. It's all projection of their laziness. It's all cover. As in, I don't care about money. Money doesn't matter. No, you're lazy as fuck, right? No, you're selfish. No, it's not a priority. Like, call a spade, but don't say it doesn't matter, because outside of your health and your relationships, you use money for every single other aspect of your life. You're fucking useless to the charity that you want to donate to if you're broke. You're useless to your kids that you can't afford to put the bread, food on their table, right? You're useless to your woman that you can't clothe, right? To the bills you can't pay, to the house you can't provide for. You're fucking useless to all these people if you're a lazy piece of shit whose sole prerogative isn't to become a better protector and provider for your team who's relying on you. Go fuck yourself and get your ass to work. At least that's what I love to tell myself, to give me that degree of urgency. Because it's like, while women have a biological clock, men have a financial clock, right? And so when you're just focused, and as I was when I was younger, right? 28 and below, I'm 29 now. And I didn't have any urgency to work, to level up, to grow, to become that millionaire, that future billionaire, right? And all it was neglect to the people that I said I care about. I was like, your woman working another day for somebody else, that's your fault. Your mom not being able to retire yet, I said, that's your fault. And as soon as you do that, as soon as you put the degree of ownership and responsibility on you to level up, to become better, to be able to give more to others that you say you care about, that's when you start stepping into the role of a man, right? That's when I started to feel like I'm now becoming a young man, right? It's so different because it comes from a place of selflessness, of wanting to be a savage servant, right? Looking to protect and to provide for others. Lost ideologies in this shit world that we live in today, where these men want to fucking split the check, right? When men say that the money doesn't matter, right? Selfish, useless, weak. You understand? Get to work. Nice. And open your mind. And don't be someone with the irony and hypocrisy to preach a lack of reception and open-mindedness when you yourself lack it, right? That's the importance of standing guard away at the doorway of your mind, guys, because otherwise you'll absorb people's garbage. You'll absorb their projection. You'll absorb and people mask shit talking with comedy. They'll mask projection with playing it off. Like, for example, the same person vocalized the argument, I was like, of, something like affording a home. And I said, no, it's not a priority, because if it was, it would be. You would be able to. And then they said, you can't speak of that because of this. And then I countered him and said, if it was a priority, you'd be able to afford a home, even in Southern California. The fact is, it's not a priority for you. And then he said, you can't have grounds to speak on this because this person has a child with a health impediment. And I said, but you just proved my point. So then it's not a priority. I said, if it was a priority, then you would. And then he was like, but the way that you said it was, this. And the quote that it reminded me of, I said, we live in such an emotionally weak fucking generation that people need everything watered down for them because it's too offensive, including the truth, right? As in, it's not my problem that you can't digest the truth, right? That you have emotional issues with the truth, right? That's something that you need to correct and you need to overcome, right? But if you have to fucking tiptoe through the tulips in this coddle culture with these motherfuckers, right? You'll never be able to reach them. So it's very important. I want to keep hammering that point. Stand guard way at the doorway of your mind. People in today's world are so weak that even objective truth, if you don't say it, in a way that's compassionate, right? Or that's not blunt and candid and straightforward, then they don't even have the emotional capacity to absorb it, because we live in a world of such pussies, such cowardice. And when he was talking to me, I was like, how do you call yourself a man? I know that because I know that what I'm doing is in alignment with God. That is right. That if my prerogative is to be a protector and a provider for others, I fucking know I'm on the right path, even if we live in a world where that is not the norm, right? But the fact that this person keeps ringing in my mind, I think my words reach to him. At least I have to hope that. I have to hope that this person has looked himself in the mirror right now. And I'll give you another example. And I'm not trying to vent in this, but it's so important that you see the world that you're surrounded by. And another thing that he said was in terms of your values. And he was like, you need to be open and to be, this and to be able to change them. I said, brother, if your values are malleable, they were never your values. I said, values are rigid. Values are set in fucking stone. As in, these are my values, this is my belief system. I don't care what the fucking outer world has. They're not going to influence it. And if they do, they were never my values to begin with. And I hope those words ring true to him. But the fact that this person who calls himself a Christian didn't have the prerogative to be a provider, which has to be the number one paramount theme in that book, which I have right here, I just said, where the fuck did we go so far astray? How are people this lost, right? And it's that beta, cuck, fucking emasculate, feminine men world, cowardice that we live in today. Thus the importance of this university. The goal to make men what they used to be, not what they are today. Man, fuck. I'm not mad, man. I'm just passionate. That's how you know you're in alignment with your vision, with your cause. That this is something that you were meant to do. Because this is what fires me up and gets me up in the morning. Is this fire of garbage, of lunacy, of absurdity. Because who's the casualty, man? The kids, right? The people who are going to live a life, and now the adults, of perpetual fucking slavery. That's the result of all these weak motherfuckers in this world that we live in today. Next. It is only when you have mastered the art of loving yourself that you can truly love others. Only when you open your own heart can you touch the hearts of others. Very true. Your vision will become clear only when you can look into your heart. Who looks outside dreams, who looks inside awakens. I love that. How you interpret and process the circumstances of life will determine your ability to transmute tragedy, loss, defeats, into a gift in disguise. And it's the idea that life happens for you, right? Not to you. As in any tragedy, if you give it a beautiful meaning, if you have the courage to say, how did this happen for me? Where am I being guided? Instead of being a victim, right? The victim rhetoric and narrative, this happened to me, woe is me, coddle culture, pussy, bullshit, garbage. No one in this university is a victim. And so change the script. Be able to shift tragedy, transmute it, the beautiful alchemy, into a gift. How did this happen for me, right? Where am I being guided? And I don't remember what book it's in. It might be The 7 Habits of Highly Effective People, but it said, the faster you can do that, the more you know you're on a higher level of your personal development. As in, I do that almost instantaneously now. I'll give you a good example. There's a fly in here. I did not get the Tustin job. Oh, I gave the city away. I did not get the job at the school district that I applied for that would have taken me to the 6-figure mark. The second I got the confirmation that I did not get it, I immediately used, all energy cannot be destroyed, it can only be converted. And I immediately looked for opportunity. Crisis and opportunity that they discuss in this book, they're one and the same, right? It's opportunity in disguise. All of it. It always is. There's a universal law of nature, I think they go over in this book, that every time a door closes, one has to open by natural law. And so when I saw that I did not get it, I said, instantaneously, I began to immediately search for the opportunity. How did this happen for me? Why did I need to not get this job, right? I immediately went to work. And I said, what if? And I did the math, I looked at the salary schedule. They went with an internal hire, right? I know that because they made it very clear in the final interview that it was between me and a person who's been working there for 27 years, which I don't say that's why I didn't get it. It was my fault that I didn't get it. 100% ownership. That's what being a man is, right? Not saying I didn't get it because of this reason. Fuck no. my fault, right? But because it's my fault, I have the power to do something about it, right? To harness that, to overcome it, to persevere. And so I looked into it and I said, this person is going to get promoted into here. That's going to create this vacancy. And so I said, I looked at the salary schedule. I was like, if this vacancy gets promoted, I would be the #1 candidate, because I made it to the final interview of the promotional version of that job. And then I was like, if I get that job, even though it's not the one that I wanted, it's still a 6-figure opportunity with none of the burden of responsibility that this job would have had, that would have taken away from this university. And I said, what if that's exactly what I was guided for? And so I'm putting it out there now that they'll have that job posting within the next week, 2 weeks, 3 weeks, just over 2 weeks at most. And then I wholeheartedly believe, and they go over this in this book as well, which is why it's quite special, to expect to win, expect the best. I believe I'm going to get that job. I believe it's going to take me to the 6-figure mark. And I believe that it's mine, right? And then I believe that me not getting the other one happened for me, not to me. So very important that you shift your mindset on that script immediately. Immediately begin to, charge and question, how did this happen for me? Next. Energy cannot be destroyed, man. It can only be converted. And you alone have the power to convert it. It is so true. Anytime I've been rejected by a job or rejected by a woman, or there's been heartbreak or letdown or disappointment, I never wallow. I never sit in self-pity. I never cry for days or weeks. I never slip into a state of fucking depression, made up garbage, right? A choice. I want to make that fucking clear. A choice. I don't do any of that. I take all of this energy, right? All of this infinite fuel, and I put it to work. Any transformation I've ever done, the fire has been fueled. That's the best fuel for any journey. Anger, rage, heartbreak, depression, it's all incredible fuel. They don't teach you that in the world that we live in. And you'll see this in this, oh my God, it comes up on my YouTube commercials. You need therapy. Your feelings are valid. It's okay to be this. And I said, you motherfuckers, it's so sinister what you're doing, because you're creating a culture of weak men, weak women who aren't hardened, who aren't battle tested. And good times, strong times, good times create weak men create hard times create strong men. The generation of people are so fucking weak today. Emotionally weak, physically weak, mentally weak, spiritually weak, financially weak, relationally weak. Weak motherfuckers, low testosterone, all of these things. Weak because of motherfuckers like you who insist on the idea that it's out of your control, that there's nothing you can do about it, that these emotions that you're feeling are negative when they're not, dude. They're fuel, man. Your natural instincts as a man, when you were to go into battle, to have adrenaline, to have hunger, to have anger, to have rage, to have fury, right? You can take all of those infinite fuel items, right? The highest tier when you go to fill your car with gas, it's, the super ultra, I don't use it, I use the basic one for my Nissan Sentra. But the same ideology, right? It's the best possible fuel to fucking catapult your life, right? If you choose to, not be destroyed by it, but to be galvanized by it, and then to unleash your potential, right? My pen went into the sink. But they don't teach you that in school today. They don't teach you that energy cannot be destroyed, it can only be converted, right? And it is up to you to decide if you're going to convert it or not, or if you're going to be destroyed by it. Complete and utter choice that only you can make for yourself. Next. When you form the habit of searching for the positive in every circumstance, your life will move into its highest dimensions. Yes. Crisis equals opportunity if you have the courage to look for it. To grow, to learn, to advance along the road to self-mastery. Struggle yields strength. All of this I thought was completely true. I'm gonna be honest, you can start to see my forehead sweat. This fucking sweater is quite warm, it's quite toasty. I can't wait to wear this doing my fasted cardio, because I told Ricardo, I was like, I want to sweat. I want to feel this prep, finally, again. And it's honestly, it's so beautiful in how the prep reflects the success cycle: belief, potential, action, results over time until your last homework from book number 13. Is this book number 14? Is that what we said? Huh? Do I have to go to the first page? Yeah, it is book number 14. And I said to memorize the success cycle: belief, potential, action, results over time until. The more you're into a progression of something like a prep, the stronger your belief, the more potential you tap into. You're at peak potential, right? You take massive action, you get massive results. It solidifies your belief, your confidence in your belief, and your confidence in your abilities. That, of course, I'm going to do this. Of course, we're going in the right direction. What more can I do? How can I get this faster? What more can I accomplish beyond my physical transformation? What can I accomplish in my relationships, in my business, in my university, my noble quest, in my finances, right? It all compounds. And so I love that idea that strength yields struggle and crisis yields opportunity, right? I had a point with that. Maybe I went a little bit astray, but I love that idea that as you sharpen, we were talking about sweating in this for the prep. As you become your best, every other aspect of your life improves. It's the same thing with being your prerogative to be a man, to be a better protector and provider for others. As your life gets better, everyone else's life improves. You selfish motherfucker. It's not about you, right? It's you neglecting to remember all the other people in your life that you could benefit by you leveling up, by you improving your character, by you closing the gap of who you are and the potential of who you can be. Do you understand? If you meet an outcome you do not expect and feel a little disappointed, remember that the laws of nature always ensure that when one door closes, another opens. I said that. Once you consistently apply this principle to your daily life and start to condition your mind to translate every event into a positive, empowering one, you will banish worry forever. You will stop being a prisoner of your past. Instead, you will become the architect of your future. Take control of your thoughts and vividly imagine all that you desire from this worldly existence in a state of total expectancy. Dormant forces will awaken inside of you. Expect the best. You will be astonished by the results. And I thought of two things. I thought expecting the best with this job, and I thought expecting the best with this woman that I have in my mind. And I said, I think I'm gonna get both. And I'm putting that out there now, which is so fucking exciting. When you're just like, when you're all in, when you're just like, I think it's my turn. I think it's my time. I think I've been guided to become this man for this moment, for this mission, this quest, for this woman. Not me chasing this person, but me. There's a good quote where it's a grandfather and a grandson. He's like, Grandpa, how did you meet Grandma? And he said, Billy, I don't remember what his name was in the story. He said, the day I stopped looking for the right woman and the day I started working on becoming the right man, your grandmother walked into my life and said hello. And that's what it's about, man. It's about, in the pursuit of this woman, I get to become my best self, right? And so it's not her or that target or a trophy or an achievement. It's life. It's not about what you get, right? It's about who you become and what you're able to give now that you've become more. And I love that so much. What I'm able to give others, what I'm able to give that woman. So cool. Just by expecting the best, right? So fucking cool. You will be astonished by the results. Awaken yourself to the power of your own mind to make things happen. Once you do, the universe will conspire with you toward magic in your life. Very interesting. I don't know who published theirs first, but Jim Rohn said the exact same thing. When a man is resolved, time, fate, the universe conspire, as if to say, we best step aside, for we are powerless against this kind of resolve. And time and universe, they conspire when a person is in the pursuit of their vision, their purpose, their personal legend, in helping them achieve it, which I think, I've shared this before, it's such a cool idea. The God and the universe are literally conspiring to help you achieve your goal. How cool is that? They want you to win. They want you to make it because they know every other motherfucker quits. They all give up, right? But if you just continue to play the game, your success is inevitable. You will win. You will make it, right? You will escape. You will yield freedom for you and your entire family forever. If you just persevere, if you just don't quit, you just don't give up. Whatever it takes until. Got it? Awaken yourself to the power of your own mind to make things happen. Once you do, the universe will conspire with you toward magic in your life. Next. Ironically, the less you focus on the end result, the quicker it will come. I love that concept. I'll say it again. The less you focus on the end result, the quicker it will come, right? Just focus on the work, focus on the action. What I can do today, right? What I can do today in these 24 hours, right? It adds up. But don't lose sight of the horizon. Know where you're going. Give yourself destination, give yourself direction, right? And then just focus on the day-to-day. Because if you lose sight of the why, of the destination, and today's hard, heartbreak, loss, no sales, defeat, then when the why gets hazy and lost and you lose sight of the horizon, you put too much value into the weight of today. But if you have that in the forefront of your mind, all of today, you're like, oh my God, this is a means to an end. And you'll be happy to do the work. You'll be happy to do the labor. You'll be happy to get up, right? You cannot lose sight of the finish line. However, it's very important that you break it down to just focusing on doing your best for that day, because that is what adds up to the finish line, and enjoying the process. Not saying I'll be happy when. I'm gonna be miserable for all this, but then when I get my goal, I'm gonna be happy. No, because you're the same person here through here. This person goes here, right? Give yourself permission to enjoy the process, to enjoy the man, the woman that you're becoming. It's not about what you get at the finish line, man. The 6 figures, the woman of your dreams, the business, the traveling, all of this. The person you need to become in order to achieve it. That is what this life is about. And to go further, the person you need to become, and then what you're able to give others now that you've become more. Do you see the visual? You have to get that. That had to have made sense. Be patient and live with the knowledge that all you are searching for is certain to come if you prepare for it and expect it. I love that, because that's the idea of being on the same vibrational frequency as the thing that you want, right? If you believe that, it starts with belief. If you believe you're gonna make it, as you think so you are, you will. If you believe you're worthy of earning 6 figures, of attaining 7 figures, of being a billionaire, you are, right? It's a belief system. As you think, so you are. It's very important that you condition that mindset and that ideology, right? From this age, man, of 29, I'm constantly reiterating it. I am a billionaire. Present lie, future truth. Patrick Bet-David goes over that. It's very important that you speak future truths, because you will, your mind, your subconscious, the universe, God, they will work to help you prove your identity. So if you say my identity, I am broke, right? If that's your rhetoric, I am TIRED, you will prove the circumstances to substantiate that claim. But if you keep saying, dude, I'm a billionaire, I'm a billionaire, I'm a billionaire, and I say it every time I hear the word TIRED, now it's a reflex. They say that I'm TIRED. In my mind, I say I'm indefatigable, I'm a billionaire, and I say other things. It's all about self-hypnosis. It's all about mastery. It's all about being in control of your mind, standing guard at the doorway of your mind, becoming the man that you want to be, right? I don't want to be like these other motherfuckers. So I don't eat the way they do. I don't talk the way they do. I don't dress the way they do. I don't spend time with the people that they do. I don't gossip the way that they do, because I do not want to be you, right? I want to be this. So if you want to be this, you can't. If you walk with the lame, you'll develop a limb. Is that how the saying goes? If you speak like the sheep do, you will be one of them, right? If you gossip, if you converse in that toxicity and poison, right? If you consume garbage of the news, of the radio, of scrolling on your fucking social medias, if that is what you're putting into your mental garden, what do you expect as a result? You will be like these motherfuckers, right? Who are cowards, who are pussies, who have no drive, who have no work ethic, who have no passion, right? No excitement, no enthusiasm. They have no why, right? They're drifting. They're fat as fuck. They're unhealthy as fuck, right? In their bodies and in their mind. I do not want to be you, so I want to see everything that you're doing. I allow manipulation from my enemies, and I use my mind to break the trap and punish the perpetrator. Let me see what you want me to do, how you want me to live. Yes, you want me to get vaccinated. You want me to get the booster shots. You want me to be a fucking docile sheep, obedient slave. Awesome. Thank you for showing me your cards. Now I'm going to do everything that I can to resist the slave mind and programming, so that I can ensure freedom for myself and everyone that I care about forever. That's my prerogative. So, all you're searching for is starting to come if you prepare for it and expect it. However, the power of your mind, by focusing on a single task at a time. Harness the power of your mind by focusing on a single task at a time. In the book, I believe it's Acres of Diamonds by Russell Conwell, there's a story where the author gets to meet Abraham Lincoln. And that was something that he was famous for. He had 1000% presence. As in, there's a famous quote by him, I don't have it at the top of my head, so I'm going to butcher it. But he said, basically, the secret to success is being able to completely focus and put all of your energy, all of your effort, everything on one task until it's complete before moving on to another. And I noticed that for myself firsthand. When I go to work to just work, it's easy mode. It's like I'm playing the game on the easiest difficulty, especially when you've been an entrepreneur. Going to a 9 to 5 is a literal joke. But so I play the game over there on me doing everything that I can for Ratlife while I'm there. So I get all of my work done in 30 minutes an hour, and then I spend 7 hours doing everything that I can in terms of thinking, in terms of planning, in terms of scripting out the next decades, the next 25 years of this noble quest. But what I found is when I need to work at work, it's insane how easy it is. It's insane how when you put all of your energy and focus, how much more output and productivity and efficiency and everything that you put, to the point where I'll get comments from my coworkers that I'm too fast. I have too high a degree of execution, right? It's literally me doing my 1 to 10%. That in the modern day education system is too quick, too aggressive. And it's like, that's exactly why this doesn't change. That's exactly why we're going the direction that we're going in, is because people are task-oriented versus goal-oriented. As in, if I tell you I need you to contact this person, and then I follow up with you and say, hey, did you contact them? I left them a voicemail. I sent them an email. And it's like, that's not what I asked. I asked you to get the fucking job done. That's the difference, right? And when you've done entrepreneurship, you have such a higher degree of personal agency, personal ownership, moral responsibility to see it through, to get the job done, whatever it takes, right? It's not, I'm going to do a task. That's not what I asked for. I asked for you to get the fucking job done. And so it's so different when you have that mindset, that frame, that lens, and you go into the easy mode. It's just like if you've ever played a video game and you do player versus player, when you're in the arena, much harder because you're playing against another player versus playing against a computer. It's all scripted. It's all mechanics. It's all doing the same shit over and over. That's exactly what the 9 to 5 is in the workplace. It's just a video game. It's people doing the same shit, the same tasks on repeat, and with no degree of difficulty. It's the same boss that you're fighting every single fucking time. How is this hard, right? And when they see you take light of it, they see it as arrogance, or you not taking the job seriously. It's like, no, just like in a video game, I understand that this is for the fucking weak players that don't have the balls or the skill to actually enter the arena. And it's evident in your title. As in, when I played that video game, dude, I was Gladiator. When you played it, you were the Kingslayer. Only my brother would understand that reference, or if you've ever played World of Warcraft or games like that, where the difference between doing campaign mode, right? PvE, player versus environment, questing versus playing against other players, right? It's so fucking different. But to go back to Abraham Lincoln, is harness the power of your mind by focusing on a single task at a time. When you concentrate the mind's tremendous power on definite, meaningful objectives, like a magnifying glass, you will quickly ignite the flames of your potential and produce startling results. I love that visual. Focused energy is like a magnifying glass that otherwise you wouldn't be able to ignite a fire and then an inferno, right? Because people put menial effort in. They put the bare minimum. They cut corners when no one's watching, right? They don't understand that how you do something is how you do everything. And if you put all of your time, all of your heart, all of your effort, if you give your best, you can't fail. That's exactly how I feel with this university. That's how I feel about this woman. If I give my best, I can't lose. If I go all in, I can't but succeed, right? People don't understand that because people don't know what giving it their best really means. They don't know what real work ethic is. They don't really know, they don't know at all what that idea of whatever the fuck it takes, of burning your boats, of your back against a wall, I have to do this or die trying, I'm all fucking in, right? They don't understand that because we live in such a world of weak motherfuckers. I shared it in a prior lecture, but people don't understand the perfect translation of life that you find in the gym of something like grinding out a rep of a personal record of a deadlift. People don't understand what holding on, what giving it your all, what I'm not going to fucking let go of this on my life. People don't understand that. That's lost, man. That takes strength, real strength, that people don't have. That takes mental discipline to persevere, to not let go, to not give up. Everybody throws in the towel. We live in such a weak fucking generation of men, right? Of cowardice, of sheep. So Be that magnifying glass, man, for your goal, for your woman, for your vision, for your dream, for your passion, right? Ignite that fire. Go all in. You have nothing to fucking lose. You're gonna die, right? What do you have to lose? You have everything to gain, right? Fuck, I love it. All right. Find out what you truly love to do, coincidentally, and then direct all of your energy toward doing it. Equals eternal happiness, but also equals enlightenment. And I said read page 56, so let me read that really quick. So page 56, I wouldn't have put it in there if it wasn't really good. Okay. As I said, John, oh, that's why. It's from Viktor Frankl, Man's Search for Meaning. Do you see how I don't want to say they plagiarized a lot of stuff in here, but, they put a lot of the gold that's from other books in this other literature in this university in here, coined somewhat as their own. As I said, John, your passion must in some way improve or serve the lives of others. Viktor Frankl said it more elegantly than I ever could. Man's Search for Meaning, a book in this university, told you the best literature of all time. Success, like happiness, cannot be pursued. It must ensue. And it only does so as the unintended side effect of one's personal dedication to a cause greater than oneself. Once you find out what your life's work is, your world will come alive. You will wake up every morning with a limitless reservoir of energy and enthusiasm. All your thoughts will be focused on your definite purpose, objective. You won't have time to waste. Valuable mental power will, therefore, not be wasted on trifling thoughts. You will automatically erase the worry habit and become far more effective and productive. Interestingly, you will also have a deep sense of inner harmony, as if you are somehow being guided to realize your mission. It is a wonderful feeling. I love it, he said gleefully. That's exactly how I feel about this quest, is pure and utter alignment. That this is what I was born to do, this is what I'm meant to do, this is my gift that I'm charged with giving the world. My battery's gonna die, so I need to change it, but I just wanted to share that from Viktor Frankl, Man's Search for Meaning, prior book at this university, in this lecture of Ratlife. Amazing. All right, hold on. All right, I had to turn the AC on because it's super hot in here with the sweatshirt. But we changed the battery, so we are good to go. We're back in it. Welcome to Ratlife University, book number 14. The Monk Who Sold His Ferrari by Robin Sharma. Okay, so I read the book. I read page 56. Next. Amazing quote. I love that idea. And to reiterate, it was the essence of being in alignment with your vision, your mission, your goal, right? And that success is the unintended side effect of you pursuing a cause greater than yourself. That's either a work, an unfinished work, Ratlife, or a woman, right? But your cause, your why, it has to be greater than you, right? It has to. So it's very important that you consider what is your why, right? Another homework assignment from a prior lecture. Next. Force yourself to move beyond your comfort zone. And I said my every prep level up. I do that every single time I do a prep. Is I don't just ask myself how can I get into my best physical shape. It's how can I level up in another category of my life. I've done that year after year. Where it's like when I graduated from UCLA, I didn't just do a prep and get shredded. I also graduated, also got a new job, also did tanning and teeth whitening and all these things, needing to find an apartment. On my 5-year transformation, I also did, got shredded, tan, pearly white teeth, my best financially, my first Euro trip, and then I always up the ante. At my 7.5-year transformation, I did a photo shoot, and then for my 6th year, I did a bodybuilding show, and then I quit my job, and I sold my car, and I pursued entrepreneurship, and I traveled the world for 6 months. And so now we're coming to the next end, which is in 11 weeks. So I'm doing this prep. It ends August 24th, and this will be my just over 11-year transformation. And I think it's going to end with me getting a 6-figure job, which I'm very, very excited about. Not to mention the progression and development of this university. And so it's very important that you force yourself to move beyond your comfort zone. You force yourself to level up. It's exactly why I'm doing this university in semester format. Every semester you should demand yourself to operate at a higher standard, right? What time do you get up in the morning? How do you dress? How's your pride in your appearance? What's your income, right? What's your debt? Outstanding debt, is that balance lower? Just slowly but surely improving the stats of your character in this video game of a life, right? And you'll notice if you just work to get a little bit better every day, and you do that for 25 years, what do you have, right? Dominance, motherfucker. It's a quote by Greg Platt. or mastery. That's what you get, mastery. Or well said by Greg Plaisdell. Take risks, be dangerous, use your mind. This is the ideology that I'm going to impart on my son in the future. Take risks, be dangerous, use your mind. Think for yourself. Be alone, quiet, and think. People don't do that today, man. That's why I say in this book that a lot of it is basic, a lot of it is, elementary, but a lot of it is the common sense that people don't do. They don't think for themselves, they don't take risks, they live in a state of fear, perpetual cowardice, they don't spend any time alone, they're constantly fucking scrolling on all the social media garbage, all this distractions, right? They're too busy, as Andrew Tate says, jerking off on Pornhub. Discover your real reason for being here and then have the courage to act on it. The courage to pursue. The credo of Ratlife. Anyone can escape. It starts with belief and the courage to pursue. Next. I put homework. It's not a homework assignment because I did this, but it's an effective exercise. Buy a rose and stare at its heart. It was an idea from the book, but I have a better homework assignment. Focus on the heart of the flower, savor its fragrance, test the discipline, can't read apparently, of your mind to see if you can begin to train it to keep focused on this one beautiful thing. That was the homework, the actionable from the book to test the will of your discipline, to say, I'm going to focus on this one thing and not think of anything else. And I did that when I was tanning the other day. I stared at a flower and I said, in my mind, I said, you are only going to stare at this flower. You are only going to think and focus on this flower. And I did that for several minutes. I was like, I have mind control. I'm very perspicacious. I'm indefatigable. What I say is at this point. And that's where you have a high degree of confidence in your ability and who you are, because it's tied with your self-image, confidence, and your self-trust. As in, what I say is because I constantly stack keeping small promises I make to myself. So when I say I'm going to focus on something, I do, right? And a better homework assignment to cure your mind isn't to stare at a flower, it's to delete social media. So that is your number one homework assignment. Delete social media for at least a week. Delete them all. Delete TikTok, delete Instagram. It doesn't even delete your account, just delete the fucking app. And then you'll catch yourself when you go to your normal neural pathway to find the app. You'll find yourself trying to find it and see how many times you do that when the app is deleted. I would do that so often because I keep my apps on the second slide of my, you have your phone, you open it after the lock screen, it's on the second thing. Out of habit, anytime I was bored, whatever, I would reach for my phone and go there, and then I couldn't find it. I was like, and I said, do you need to be on this? No. Why are you doing this? It's poison that you're addicted to. You're addicted to the dopamine drip of it. So if you want to cure your mind, right, the average attention span of a goldfish now is higher than of a person. I don't know what it is. It's like, I think a person is like 6 or 7 seconds and a goldfish is like 8 seconds. People are more fucking retarded than a goldfish today because you cannot focus, you cannot think. That's done on purpose to keep you distracted, because if you weren't, you would be able to see all of this bullshit that's going on and say, wait a second, this is garbage. Wait a second, they're trying to enslave me. Wait a second, they're trying to keep me as a slave for my entire fucking life, right? But because you're so semi-depressed, medicated, going to therapy, distracted, drowning in dopamine from social media flooding, your mind is fucking broken where you cannot even focus on a long format content video giving you nothing but gold, right? For now. But in the future, people will crave this, man. In the future, people will crave truth and principle and time-old adages and ideologies that have been prosperous, fruitful, nourishing, consistent since the dawn of time. That's the homework assignment. Delete your social media. I deleted mine recently for like 3 months. March to April, April to May, May to June. My Instagram, I still don't have TikTok. And now when I go on Instagram, I do not, if I ever go to the search feed, I don't allow myself to scroll. I'm forbidden from it. I don't need it. It's garbage. It's all garbage. Even on any social media app, even on YouTube, I go and I see all the clickbait, all the thumbnails, all the stupidity, all the degeneracy. I'm just like, this is all garbage. My university will never be that. I'll never be a clown. I'll never be putting on a show. I'll never be needing to yell. I speak with confidence and certainty and conviction, right? but I don't need to elevate or raise my voice to prove a point. All that I'm speaking and preaching and professing is principle, is truth. Do you got it? So all of that is from a cured mind, which is from deleting social media. Cure your mind. Resist the slave programming. Begin to be active in your own rescue, to save yourself, to give yourself the key to your escape, to your freedom forever, right? Your life literally depends on it. Next, condition your attention to the object of your focus. Control your mind. And it's crazy concept. Control your mind, right? Think for yourself. Be perspicacious. Be observant. Stand guardway at the doorway of your mind, right? Be careful who you take advice from. Does this person have a life I want to have? No, so why the fuck am I listening to them? Why am I absorbing their garbage? Why am I allowing their toxicity and poison to infiltrate my mental, fertile, nourished garden? No, I have discipline, I have mind control. I allow manipulation from my enemies to see where they want me to go, and I use my mind to break the trap and punish the perpetrator, right? That is the power of you controlling your mind. Cure your mind. Delete social media for 1 week, if not for 3 months. You will feel so great. I can now read books. I couldn't when I started this university. I couldn't sit still. I couldn't focus without needing to get the constant interaction and distraction and stimulus from a phone. But I blinked now and I've cured my mind. You can do the same. Next, repeat daily until you focus for 20 minutes. As in, I wasn't even able to read a page, a chapter in a book. I couldn't do it. If you can delete social media, which is literally poison, you will be able to free your mind. Now I have social media with mind power and resolve and stoicism and control that I'm now a producer and not a consumer. Huge difference. But until you have that strength, right? And I didn't months ago. I didn't have the strength to only be able to produce content with the omission of consuming it. Now I do, right? From what? Following the actionables at Ratlife University. Very true. Make your mind your servant. What you say is. In time, it will focus on what you command it to focus on. And the mind it can be an incredible slave, or you can be the slave of your mind. The choice is yours. The heart of the rose, your oasis. I love that word, oasis. I might use that someday. There is power in stillness and silence and presence. Begin to connect with the universal source of intelligence, the soul of the world. That was literally plagiarized from The Alchemist. Begin to connect with the universal source of intelligence, the soul of the world. Come on, man, you got better than that. You know, that's from The Alchemist. So that's what I mean when I say that I don't put it as the highest echelon of personal development books, even though there's a lot of gold that I'm sharing with you from it, because of that fact. Because I've read the other gold, The Alchemist, the Viktor Frankl Man Search for Meaning, I can see where he got all of his, ideologies that he's coining as his own. And so I don't like that. I don't like when you don't pay credit where it's due. You know what I'm saying? But also, you have to understand that there's no such thing as an original thought. All these other greats, they got theirs from other people. A person who you have to commend is Stephen, I believe his name is Stephen Covey, the author of 7 Habits of Highly Effective People. His entire introduction and preface to the book is, none of this is mine. None of this, these are timeless principles and effective habits that I learned from others. And another thing this person literally says is, if I but see far, it's because I stand on the shoulders of giants. It's like, buddy, come on, man. That's Isaac Newton. Like, you're just stealing all this shit. So it's the same thing, right? Don't, number one, pay credits where it's due, but understand that even everything that I say, and I would get this criticism from other people all the time where it's like, why don't you have a thought that's your own? It's everything that I'm reiterating are my thoughts, are my principles, are my truths that I am working to align with and to abide by, right? But the difference is, Ty Lopez is a good example of this. I pay credit where it's due. That's the difference between a lot of other people that you see. They plagiarize, coin it as their own, and then they void the others of credit. But they don't have the original thoughts. People have thought all of the thoughts that you can think for years. Thousands of them. Next. All you have to do to confirm that is read any old philosophical book. Next. Your mind cannot simultaneously hold 2 thoughts. Think of it like a slide projector. When a negative one seeps in, swipe. Next slide, immediately shift your focus. And now that I have that concept, I find myself doing that. The second I think of a negative thought, I'll see if it benefits me, because like I said, rage, anger, frustration, it's all fuel that you can then harness, right? So I see if the negative thought that I have is productive, and if it's not, I'm like, we got to change this thought, because this is causing, adrenaline, this is causing cortisol in a time and place that it doesn't benefit you in the slightest. You don't need this right now. So your mind cannot hold two thoughts simultaneously. So if you have a negative thought that is not serving you, like a slide projector. Next slide. Nice. It's as easy as that. Just like a muscle that you train in the gym. If you can condition your mind like that, you can condition yourself to be able to change your state like that. Just like a muscle. But people don't. People don't shift their mindset from lack to gratitude on a frequent basis to where that becomes habitual and second nature, right? And so people say, oh, it's a lot harder to do that. No, it's unpracticed, right? And just like any other muscle that you don't train, it will atrophy, right? It'll become dormant. So can't hold two thoughts simultaneously? Projector slide image, next. Got it? Gratitude. What can I focus on? What can I be grateful for? How did this happen for me, right? Negative thought of not getting the job that I wanted, right? This happened to me? No. Where's the opportunity? Where am I being guided? Why did I need to go through this? Constantly recalibrate your target, your focus. When an airplane takes off and lands, they adjust course, I believe statistically it's like over 9,000 times, yet they always get to their destination. Constantly course correct on your path. You're gonna get everything that you want, not in the way that you think. Think of it this way. The universe has infinite ways to get you exactly what you say you want, right? The problem is we have the arrogance, I have the arrogance to say, and I did this in the past, I can only achieve this goal if it's done this way, at this time, in this particular order. How insulting to the infinite ways the universe and God can give you what you say that you want, right? Let go of the how and constantly course correct. Adjust your course. Take a new path, right? You can still get to the same destination, even you get to road closed. That's okay, there's a detour. That's okay, there's a road here. That's okay, I can go on this trail, right? Constantly adjust the course. Do not lose sight of the target of the finish line. It's going to be in the book, The 10X Rule, the next book in this university by Grant Cardone. Do not lower the fucking target. That's what people do. They settle. They fail once or they don't even try. And they have the audacity, the fucking cowardice, pussies to say, I didn't even really want it to begin with. What, money? It doesn't matter, bro. Cowardice, weak, pathetic, selfish, right? Do not lower the fucking target. You're better than that. Find a new way. Take more action. Try again until. Got it? Next. Concept of a necklace of beads. I love this because it's an immediate thing that you can touch and it's grounded in an ideology. Removing one every time you catch yourself thinking a negative thought. So he wore a necklace of beads and every time he would wear a negative thought, he took a bead off and he put it like in a jar or something. To serve as gentle, he put it in his pocket in a knapsack. And so whenever he would touch, the ones in his knapsack, it would remind him this. To serve as gentle reminders, the beads, that I still have a distance to travel on the road to mental mastery and responsibility over the thoughts that fill my mind. I thought that was so fucking cool. That I'll give to this book. I thought that was awesome. As in every time he was wearing a necklace of beads, every time he thought a negative thought, he was like, he took one off, put it in his pocket, and there were little reminders, right? That I still have a distance to travel on the road to mental mastery and responsibility over the thoughts that fill my mind. I thought that was fucking wicked. Why? Your thoughts are a choice, right? You'll get thoughts, right, that come in from hundreds of thousands of millions of years of your DNA. That's not what I'm saying. I'm saying the thoughts you choose to harbor and focus on, that is a choice. Your identity, that's a choice. I am happy. I am poor. I am angry. I am depressed. Choice, right? I am a victim. This happened to me. Choice. Serves as a gentle reminder, last time I'll say it, that I still have a distance to travel to on the road to self-mastery, mental mastery, and responsibility over the thoughts that fill my mind, right? As you think, so you are. Choose your thoughts with care. Got it? Self-knowledge is the stepping stone to self-mastery. I also love that word, mastery. It's going to be one of the books that we read by Robert Greene in the future. Mastery. Because that should be your goal, is to become a master of your mind, a master of your body, a master of your heart, master of your mind, body, and soul, right? To become, it's not okay for you to be a novice when it comes to your physicality and your strength. It's not okay for you to be a novice when it comes to your finances, especially as you young men looking to be a better protector and a provider for others. It's not okay for you to be living paycheck to paycheck, struggling, barely surviving, not even able to take care of yourself, let alone your family, right? Let alone the people who are relying on you. It's not okay. It's okay to be a novice at the start. It's not okay to stay there. All right, and we're all on the same journey together. You're seeing me become my made man, become my villain, which is the title of this semester. You're seeing me close the gap of who I am, the potential of who I can be, as I lead this noble quest, right? Of what? Of the escape, of freedom forever, for me and for every one of you enrolled in this university, right? The quest for knowledge and improvement and betterment and the word yes. That's all what this university is about, man. That's what Ratlife means. Anyone can escape. We can all fucking make it, right? It starts with belief. It's possible, I can, we can all make it. I'm worthy of this noble, worthy endeavor and quest and vision and pursuit and dream and life and betterment, prosperity and euphoria and ecstasy. And the courage to pursue. I'm not a fucking coward, right? I have nothing to lose by going for it. I have one life, I'm gonna die, right? I will close the gap of who I am and the potential of who I can be. Right? Because I understand life is not about what I get, it's about who I become and what I'm able to give others now that I've become more. It's not about me. It's not my ability to, it's my responsibility to. Got it? Ratlife, we're all gonna make it. Next. Care for your thoughts as you would your most prized possessions. And again, that's from Jim Rohn. He said, how quickly are we to defend ourselves, or this is from Zig Ziglar, see you at the top, from physical harm from others, but how slow are we to protect ourselves from mental harm? It's the exact same thing when you're tending to the weeds in your garden, right? Stand guard at the doorway of your mind. Okay. Homework assignment. Punish yourself for tolerating a negative thought. Punishment, coldest setting shower. As a homework assignment, what we could do is I want you to, not as a punishment, less so, but to condition your mind to say what I say is, what I say goes. I challenge you at the end of your shower, because I do this, I've done this every day without missing, even when I travel abroad, for probably years now, for probably multiple years. I end every single shower on the coldest setting, just to condition myself to attack fear and to condition my mind to what I say is. You are not the master of me, I am the master of my mind. You are my servant, you are my slave. You will do as I say, right? And so, when you do that, you develop mind control, discipline, will, power, right? So that's the homework assignment, is at the end of your shower, turn the water onto the coldest setting, right? Because what you say is. There's gonna be a moment where you're gonna wanna hesitate, that's fear. Where you're not gonna wanna do it, we're gonna say, no, maybe tomorrow, no, it's okay, no. As I say is, what I say goes. Condition, 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 until there's no delay, until your mind says, of course we're going to do it because I said we're going to do it. And there's no hesitation there. That's when your self-confidence will go up and up and up. And then it transcends. Where else and in what else can I apply this? Okay. You cannot afford the luxury of even one negative thought. From this book, he said that. He said, I'm going to be candid with you. You cannot afford the luxury of even one negative thought. So, and then to recap, the ideas in the book were the heart of the rose. So to cure your mind, your homework assignment is to delete all of your social media for 1 week. In opposition thinking, you cannot hold two thoughts at the same time. So anytime you think a negative thought that's not serving you, because it can be beneficial, on to the next, right? Reshift my focus to gratitudes is the best way to do it. What can I be grateful for? What makes me happy? Who do I love? Okay. And your homework assignment, end your shower the next time on the coldest setting. Challenge. Picture the person you hope to be, your villain. You will become the person you rehearse and envision yourself becoming. So true. Your imagination is a preview of life's coming attractions. I think that's a quote by, is it Einstein? or Walt Disney, but I think it might be Einstein. Your imagination is a preview of life's coming attractions. I think it's Einstein. Visualize all you want to be, to have, to attain in your life. Meditation exercise. So that's what I do every time I meditate. And I meditate, if not on a specific exercise, in my thoughts, I meditate every single day. Mentally rehearse until that vibration is by law matched within your physical reality. I'm going to say that again, so good. Mentally rehearse all you want to have, all you want to be, everything you want to attain in your life. Your vision, any materialistic things, your dream woman. Mentally rehearse it over and over and over until that vibration is by law matched within your physical reality. Love that idea. Unlock the magnetic power of your mind to attract spiritual and material abundance. Love it. The problem is within. Your lack of belief in the gifts that every being possesses. And I put, let go. Why? So you can begin. As soon as you let go, as soon as you empty your cup, now you're in a position to receive, to begin. There's a good quote. I think it's, I don't remember where it's from, but it said that, that's it, God, I'm done. I give up, I quit. I give up, I'm done. Good. Now I can begin. Oh, I love that. And I put run your own race. And I think I got it from this book, to run your own race. And it helps when you're off of social media, dude. I don't have FOMO. I don't give a shit what anybody else is doing. I don't care. I don't have FOMO of, you know, where they are around the world, with the traveling, with the festivals. I am so tunnel vision now on my purpose, on my vision, on my focus, on my priorities, on my prerogative to be the best man, to be the best lover, future father, future husband, future provider that I could possibly be, that I know I am on my path. I know I'm guided. I know I'm aligned, walking with God, right? So it's so important that you run your own race, right? Don't compare your journey, your path, your chapter, your achievements or lack thereof with anybody else. Fuck that. Your life, your race. Focus on yourself. Let patience have her perfect work, right? If you can do that, and this is actually also in the 10x rule, you'll be able to add so much wood to your fire that other people will just have to admire it. They'll be like, what's driving him, man? How does he get up at that time? What's pushing him to keep? It's like, it's from alignment. It's from alignment with you and your vision and your purpose, right? And then again, not about what you get, but what are you able to give others in the pursuit of that? How much more can you give others from you achieving your goal? That's so exciting. And then something as simple as this, man. It's not the best one, right? I like I said, I want the letters a little thicker. There's, inconsistent spacing in it, but it's real. It's real, dude. And this is year 1 of Ratlife University. It's tangible, man. You can touch it. You can feel it. And so I love that, to enjoy the process, because you're going to look back, when you're making 10K a month, when you're a millionaire, when you're a billionaire, and you're going to say, do you remember when you were living in your car? Do you remember when you were drowning in debt? Do you remember when you were overdosing on fucking drugs upon moving into this apartment? Do you remember when you were doing videos with your fucking shiny forehead and enjoying the process, dude? Because you're going to make your success is inevitable as long as you don't give up, as long as you continue to persevere until, right? With belief and the courage to pursue. The credo of Ratlife, right? Success is inevitable. And because I have that solidified conviction and belief that I'm going to escape, that I'm going to be free forever, that every single person I have ever loved will be free with me on my team, and we're all going to make it, I now can give myself absolute permission. And I try my best to do this. It's quite challenging when you're in the grind of it, but I do my best to catch myself to enjoy the process along the way, because you're going to blink and it's going to be 6 months from now. You're going to blink and it's going to be 6 years from now. You're going to blink and it's going to be 60 years from now. And so what a shame to go through your entire life not having lived, right? So very important. Run your own race. Enjoy the process. Take your time. Don't be in a rush. Don't worry about what anyone else is doing. Enjoy your journey on your path, right? Next, write your goals down. Again, redundant menial concept because I was like, of course, write your goals down, but not of course. A lot of people don't. A lot of people do not have written goals down. If your goals are not written down, they're just one of many thoughts. They say in this book that you have 60,000 thoughts a day. As soon as you write them down, your mind establishes a belief system that these thoughts that are written down are more important than the other 59,999, right? Then you can harness your reticular activating system that these are what you deem the most important, the most valuable. It'll then go to work, even while you're asleep, to see how can I accomplish, how can I realize this goal. Write down your goals. Make your goal real. I write down all of my goals in many different journals and spreadsheets and Excel and Google Docs and on a bunch of different areas and sticky notes. I write down all of my goals and then I organize them and then I put deadlines on them. But begin just by writing down, who do I want to be? What do I want to have? Where do I want to go? What do I want to look like? What's my dream? Have you even, from the first homework assignment, have you even defined your dream life, right? What does your dream woman look like? What color are her eyes? How many kids do you want to have? What countries do you want to travel to? What business do you want to start? Where do you want to live? What car do you want to drive? Begin to play with it, man. Your imagination is just a preview of your life's coming attractions, right? But if you don't even have the courage to dream, right, it will be a never reality. It will never be a reality if you don't even have the fucking courage to say, this is what I would love to have, right? No fucking cowardice in this university. Have the courage to dream. How big would you dream if you knew you couldn't fail? And here's the secret to the universe I learned from Andrew Tate. If you give your best, you can't fail. If you give your best, you cannot fail. That's the difference. People quit, they give up, they stop trying. But if you keep trying until, you'll get exactly what you want. And life will probably reward you with even more than you could ever dream of having. Next, when you write down your goals, priority of importance over 60,000 thoughts of your subconscious. Form a clear picture of your desire equals you opening the gateway to the very actualization of it. I thought that was cool. So form the picture and then you begin to unlock the gateway. Here's the key to your escape, to your freedom forever. I like the purple, like when it was that deep purple. I think that's the color that I might stick with. What do you guys think? Just an aside, I'm just looking at improving the production quality of these videos. Next. The power of ritual. 21 days to form a habit to create a new neural pathway. Nice. Next. And I think I'm going to keep the AC on in these future videos because it was really hot earlier and now I feel much better. But I still don't like that shine on my forehead. Room for improvement. All right. Book number 14, check-in reminder. We're almost done with our notes, just a couple more pages. Enjoy the process. I said that. Have the courage to run your own race. I said that. Homework, new habit. Pick up, oh my God, this should have been my university long ago. Pick up trash from the floor every opportunity you get. Every time I go to the gym, I act as if it's my fucking gym. And it is. I go there every day, almost every day. And so when I see trash on the floor, I'm just like, you have to be such a piece of shit to throw or leave trash on the ground. Who raised you? Who raised these boys? So every time you have the opportunity to pick up trash, do it. Why? Not only do you condition that to be your identity, I'm the person who picks up trash off the ground when I see it, and you make the world a better place, one, and you make your gym a better place, two, you elicit oxytocin from doing something that requires time, energy, thought, effort, consideration, for others. Other people get oxytocin from seeing you do good. Pick up trash. Homework assignment. Every opportunity that you get. Not once, every time, forever. I did this I went to a festival many years ago in Montenegro, and my friend at the time he drank like from a bottle and just threw it on the ground. And I went, I picked it up, threw it in the trash, and it was like no big deal. And then when he was high on ecstasy later on, he was like, I just want to let you know that I just love that you did that. It makes me want to be a better person. I just said. And it's interesting that idea, life is about planting trees under whose shade you will never sit. And little things like that, dude, when people are looking for leadership, they don't look based on words, they look based on what they can emulate. on actions. And so if they see you, and I know this firsthand with Ricardo living here, if they see what time you get up, if they see the effort that you put in, if they see how drenched your shirt is after the cardio, you're setting that precedent that this is the standard, right? This is the work ethic, this is the output. And so people emulate. Number one, you'll earn the respect of others and the respect of your peers, because that's not something that, and especially in the workplace, these fucking cowards and cucks, have failed to learn and to realize yet that you're not entitled to respect. You're not entitled to anything in this fucking life. It is earned through merit value of your work, right? Of your character, of your integrity, of your professionalism, of your etiquette, of your merit, like I said. Pick up the fucking trash. Next, happiness comes from the progressive realization of a worthy objective. I can completely abide by that with this quest. It's work that oftentimes I don't want to do. I don't want to do the reading. Sometimes I don't want to do the filming. But the progression of it is exciting. Seeing myself like I said, I don't want to shit on this. I love the color. I love the dark charcoal gray with the red. It's such a nice contrast. I don't know what the university colors are going to be yet, but maybe this is Ratlife University. I love it. But even though it's not where you want to be yet, even though you're not where you want to be yet, you're not getting the views, you're not getting the monetization, whatever, right? The status, the fame, the glory. No, none of that. It's very important that the happiness comes from the progression. You don't have to have the goal, but you need to be on the way. And if you notice that you're not happy in one area of your life, it's because you're not progressing in it. Or it's because your story says this is where I should be, and your actuality is this is where I am. That is unhappiness. If your story says I should have $1,000 in my bank account and I have $2,000, that's ecstatic. If your story is I should have 1,000 and I have 1,000, then the mindset, narrative, rhetoric is I'm where I should be. See, the color that it was just before this, that's the one I love, where it's like that nice purple. I'll have to play with it, but that's the one I want to do in all my videos, I think. I think we're going to have purple as Ratlife University. What do you guys think? Because blue is also really good. I like all of these. But yeah, we're gonna do something exciting here, guys. I'm excited with these colors. They look awesome. Next. So that's important, of progress and progression. Once you get yourself together, your world will be okay. Once you master your mind, body, and character, happiness and abundance will flow into your life almost magically. I love that. Include 15 to 50 minutes of silence, solitude, and peace daily. That should go without saying, but a lot of people don't. A lot of people don't sit in silence. They're afraid to be alone. Why? They're afraid to be alone with their own thoughts. Because if you want to learn the truth, be alone and just think about whatever the problem is in your life, and you'll be able to find the solutions, because oftentimes it's you. Often, if not all the time, it's you. It's not somebody else, not what this person did, it's you. You're not a victim. You take ownership, take responsibility, it's your fault. So spend time alone to reflect, to think, to heal, to consider, to grow, right? But people don't do that. They get, here's the problem, they're the problem, let me constantly distract myself and avoid confrontation. That's how people stay perpetually unhealed, perpetually bleeding on other people who didn't cut them, because they do not have the courage to tend to their own wounds, right? That's the healing power of silence. Nice. So put that as a homework assignment. 15 to 50 minutes of silence, solitude, and peace daily. Even if it's just a few minutes, man, sitting in your car by yourself, or in your bed by yourself. Be alone with your thoughts. Ask yourself the questions, what do I want? What do I want to be? What do I want to have? Where do I want to go? Who do I want to be, right? What kind of man do I want to become? Start to think those thoughts, man. Because as you think, so you are. If this is where you want to go and you give yourself that destination and the direction, you will get there. Next. Homework. 2 or 3 times a day, take a minute or 2 to think about breathing more deeply and effectively. You don't really need to do that homework assignment if you're doing the meditation exercise, because it forces it in it. But that is, we'll say, as an optional one. It should not be optional, but if you go to the gym, your breathing should already be fantastic, because you have to take deep breaths, which is why the gym conditions mental health, is because you change your focus and you change your physiology. You have to focus on the weight and not dying or not dropping this barbell on your neck, so you have to be present. And you have to focus on your physiology in terms of, or the betterment of your physiology, by stretching, by deep breathing. You get all of that from the gym. So if you're doing the gym and you're doing the meditation, that's a redundant exercise, but also every effort counts and all adds to you. So if you find yourself going through your day, which everybody does, taking shallow breaths, then taking deep breaths will help you stay calm, stay relaxed. It'll condition your mental health. Next. Knowledge equals potential power. Let your conscious and your heart be your guide. I am getting more in tune, more aligned with listening to my heart every day. And I'm doing my best to curb ego, which it's good to have a fair amount of healthy ego. I'm not saying against that, but listening to your heart when there's something that you know you should do, or it's constantly conspiring with the universe, with God, with the soul of the world to help you get where you want to go. I said this I'm writing, doing a project, not a project, I'm working on something right now where I'm writing words in a book. And that was something that I said in it, and it was along the lines of, you got me distracted. What were we talking about? In terms of let your conscience and your heart be your guide. That's what's waiting for you on the other side of fear. And so that's why I love the idea of let your conscience and your heart be your guide, because your heart is literally trying to conspire with God, with the universe, with the soul of the world to help you get exactly what it is that you want, what you're meant for, what belongs to you. But it's on the other side oftentimes of fear. And life, God, your heart, soul of the world, universe, the soul of the world will test you to see if it's what you actually want. And that's I'm learning again and again. And I think you get exactly what it is that you want once you're resolved. And then, like Jim Rohn said, it's as if time and the fates conspire, as if to say we best step aside because we are powerless against this kind of resolve. And that's exactly how I feel about this university, this noble quest, and this woman. Resolved. Next. You sow a thought. This is such a good quote. You sow a thought, you reap an action. Reap an action, you sow a habit. Sow a habit, you reap a character. Sow a character, you reap your destiny. Amazing quote. All souls flow into one, the soul of the universe. That's not from Paulo Coelho, the author of The Alchemist. All souls flow into one, the soul of the universe. When you nourish your own mind and your own spirit, you are feeling the soul of the universe, feeding the soul of the universe. When you improve yourself, you are improving the lives of all those around you. And when you have the courage to advance confidently in the direction of your dreams, you begin to draw upon the power of the universe. That's what I feel like I'm doing with this university. Guys, I can't share the amount of insight that I get on a daily basis within the progression of this university. It's as if your heart, the soul of the universe, and God, the soul of the universe, soul of the world, literally are giving you little hints as you go, like little quest items that you can, or little tools, little building blocks for you to create something. That I love the idea that God loves the courageous and rewards the ones who have the bravery to pursue. So here's insight, here's intelligence, here's a gift, here's help, here's an aid. It's like in the movie Lord of the Rings where Frodo was battling that spider and then Lady Galadriel gave him that, that quest item because he was on his noble cause, his noble purpose and mission, of the ring bearer, right? To the fire of Mount Doom. It's the exact same thing. I believe that characterized in that movie is you on your divine quest, right? The reason that you're here, that every one of us has. You just have to find what it is. I found mine. It is Ratlife, right? This is what I'm going to be doing for the next 25 years of my life. And it's so cool, and I love the idea that God wants you to win. The soul of the universe wants you to win. Your heart wants you to win. And so you will be given help and insight and creativity and intelligence along the way to ensure that you're guided the entire totality of the journey. And it's such a comfort to know that I'm not alone. And they even say this in this book. They don't bring up God or any other entity or divine intelligence or anything like this, but they said you're never alone, And I love that so much. And then he was like, what was that? And he said something for another time. And I love that idea that they don't need to push their, religious beliefs or whatever, but you're never alone. Especially when you're on your path, especially when you're on your journey, dude. You are divinely guided because God, dude, they want to see you make it because of the net positive that is in the entirety of life, in the entirety of the universe, in the entirety of the soul of the universe. As in, when you nourish your own mind and your own spirit, you are feeding the soul of the universe. When you improve yourself, you're improving the lives of all those around you. And when you have the courage to advance confidently in the direction of your dreams, to advance confidently means you have the utmost belief, which means you tap into the most potential, which means you take the most action, which means you then yield the most results, where everyone improves, right? You begin to draw upon the power of the universe. That's the power of the success cycle. Belief, potential, action, results over time until, right? What if everything that I'm going through right now is preparing me for a dream bigger than I can imagine, right? Love it. That's so cool with the heart, with God, with the soul of the world. Life gives you what you ask for it. It is always listening. Love that idea. The universe favors the brave. Nice. Nice. 3 more pages. Inspiring thoughts. The purpose of life is a life of purpose, continuous self-discovery, willpower. These are all virtues from the book. Inspiring thoughts. The purpose of life is a life of purpose, continuous self-discovery, willpower. All good virtues to be predicated on in this university. Fancy that. People will respect you more when they see that you are a person who values his time. They will realize that your time is precious and they will value it 100%. You earn the respect of others when you stop being 100% available. This is in men and this is in women. If you are constantly available, people do not respect you. They don't respect your time. You are common. You are always available. It is not only a turnoff, but also it's somebody who, I love that idea right here, is a person who doesn't value their time, a person who doesn't realize how precious their time is, and then they say they will realize that your time is precious and they will value it. And it's so true that when I was the guy who was always available to every single person, I would always get left unseen. I would always get taken for granted. But now that there are a lot of people who do not have access to me ever. They don't get a DM opened, they don't get an Instagram like, they don't get a story view. You do not have access to me anymore. It's crazy how it's all just perception of value, and respect is just immediately elicited by the scarcity. And the way that you as a man, and this, you can harness this in terms of dating, that your value is worthless, and the only way that you can increase your value is in terms of your attention is by withholding it. So let me correct that. Not your value is worthless, which as a man you have to build your character from the ground up, but that's not what I'm talking about. I'm talking about your attention is completely worthless when women who are attractive, beautiful, which they all are, on social media, they get hundreds of DMs and thousands of likes and messages and all this, that the way that you can increase the value of your attention is by the omission of it, right? Because this person gets flooded with likes, flooded with messages, flooded with views from all these other guys, all these other simps as they call them, but you're the one who, you're on your path, you're on your mission, you're on your purpose, right? Tunnel vision focused, right? Not pedestaling others. All right, this is a very important homework assignment, and that is to plan your week. So in the book they say, and this is actually a millionaire success habit, is all millionaires, they plan their day before. They plan their day the day before, if not their entire week at the start of the week. So the homework is plan your next week, as in include the entire schedule for the week of everything that you can possibly think of. The gym, work, diet, meal timing, groceries, laundry, your haircut scheduled, and then I put job application from Jim Rohn's idea. How much time are you spending every week looking for the next opportunity that's going to take care of you and your family for the rest of your life? Plan that in your week so that you do spend some time searching for that opportunity. Too many people are dreaming of some magical rose garden. So that's the homework assignment. Plan your week. Next, too many people are dreaming. So there's a lot of homework assignments in this lecture. You better do them. You better do them. Boy, I'm taking off the belt. Too many people are dreaming of some magical rose garden on the horizon rather than enjoying the one growing in our own backyards. I love that idea. It's so true. People are this applies to dating. This applies to, you know, I'll be happy if I'm over here, over there, over where, you know, east. I thought you said west. You know, people don't even appreciate what's right in front of them. They take the people in their life for granted. They take all the gifts and joys and ecstasies and euphorias where they can't even appreciate or enjoy the little things that are right here. That are, oh my God, I went on a walk yesterday, which I'll do tonight after this. And it was just so beautiful, dude. It was sunset. The grass had this super beautiful, you know, glow, this sun-kissed glow to it at the end of a day. And you're just like, it looked heavenly. And I said, thank you, God. Wow. It was so beautiful. And I just want more people to experience California. And I don't know if I could live here forever just because of the people and because of, you know, the politics and because they're trying to put the state into the gutter from what it was, you know, back in time, if it's not there already. But I truly believe that if you can just, you know, find those beautiful parts where you are right here in your own backyard, you have acres of diamonds right here in your own backyard, then you don't need to go anywhere, man. You could just create your own beautiful garden wherever you are. And they even say that in The Alchemist. It's like, you know, it's the father of Santiago. He's like, you're going to learn that we have the most beautiful women, we have the best lands, we have the best everything right here. You don't need to go anywhere. I think it was in Spain. And it's the same thing in every place. It's the most beautiful garden is the one that you water, right? The one that you nourish. It could be right here in this beautiful apartment in sunny Southern California. I don't need to go anywhere, right, to create that. It's me wherever I go, right? So I love that idea. Too many people are dreaming of some magical rose garden on the horizon rather than enjoying the garden, the one growing in their own backyard. Crazy. And that could even be taken a step further in terms of who are the people in your life that you're taking for granted right now, right? And I'll have this where there's a person who is inviting negativity or whatever into my life, but I'll, you know, want to make it work so badly with them that I can't even feel gratitude for the people who make me feel effortless to love, who are right there in my life. So it's so important, man, when you're tending to the weeds in your garden to pull out the weeds as much as it hurts, as much as you wanted it to work, to let them go so that you can water and nourish and enjoy the love of the people who make you feel so comfortable in your own skin, confident in yourself, and effortless to love in the one life that you have. Nothing else fucking matters, man. As hippie of a statement as that is, nothing else matters but love and the people that you love and giving to them generously, loving the people who saw you when you were invisible to everyone else. Love all of that. Water and nourish your garden. Next. The best time to plant a tree was 40 years ago. The second best time is today. Quit wasting time, just start. And you'll see improvements, man. We didn't have this Ratlife University apparel. We didn't have the accentuated lights. There's more to come and more improvements that we're gonna, you know, obviously be doing. But you don't get the passion, the excitement, the enthusiasm, the, you know, the improvements, the creativity, the insight, the intelligence, if you do not start. You cannot get to here if you don't fail here, here, here. You can't get to the good problems until you've gone through all the trials and tribulations here. And it's about enjoying the process along the way. You're gonna get there. Just have fun, right? Don't take life so seriously of shit that doesn't matter, right? Ask yourself a really good exercise of this. If money wasn't an issue, what would I be doing? How would I be spending my time? You'll find your why there. If money was an issue for me, what would I be doing? I'd be spending all my time reading. That's what I would be doing. Reading and traveling the world and going to the gym and building this. That's all I would be doing. Now I'm doing all of this that I can while working to give myself that runway to escape the rat life forever, right? And so you can do the same thing if you ask yourself that question and then put all of your lean into that. Lean into what you would do for free. I'm doing these videos for free. They're not monetized. I'm not partnered on YouTube. I'm not getting any AdSense revenue from this. There's no sponsorship. I would do these happily for free. And so that's how I know one day I'll be paid to do these videos. I don't care about that. I do this because I love what I'm creating and what I'm building, and I know that this is my purpose, is to create this university. This is a noble quest, right? This is, I don't want to be arrogant when I say this, but this is, I feel like is, this quest was blessed, or this, journey, quest, vision, blessed by God, right? So I love it. This is exactly what I want to do. This is exactly who I want to become. This is exactly what I feel like I should be doing. Next, just start. Act as if failure is impossible and your success will be assured. And I put my new job. I keep saying the city of where I want to work. I should probably stop that. And the woman that I want. Act as if failure is impossible and your success will be assured, right? And I wouldn't have that habit when I was younger to expect, success, because I live it. There's a quote by Ray Dalio. He said, if you live in a constant state of worry, you need not worry. But the problem is that people always are overconfident that it's all going to work, and so they don't proactively plan for anticipating future hardship or loss or letdown or failure. And so I like that idea of, I don't want to veer on the line of hubris, but expecting it's going to work, expecting success and conditioning that instead of constantly fixating and focusing on how it's going to fail, how it could not work, but just expecting to win for the first time. You know what I mean? So I love that idea, and I'm doing my best to do that with those two things, with the opportunity that would take care of me and my family for the rest of my life and ensure freedom forever for everyone that I love and care about, and the woman of my dreams. Next, when you work to improve the lives of others, you indirectly elevate your own life in the process. And they use a visual of every person who gives flowers have the fragrance of them on their own hand. The path of diamonds. You can have the life you deserve the very moment you start to understand that the path you are currently walking on is one rich with diamonds and other priceless treasures. I love that so much. So that is in what? The person that you're becoming, right? The people in your life. It's just, if you focus on all the things that you have right now on your path to be grateful for, and you do that enough times, you'll find that the more you are grateful for, the more you'll have to be grateful for. But people take for granted the diamonds in their life and the people in their life. Don't be one of those people. Never put off happiness for the sake of achievement. I'll be happy when. It's a fallacy. Give yourself permission to be happy now. Note to future self. Live your children's childhood. So this is a note to my future self. I wrote that. They say in the book, and I thought this was actually an incredible chapter in the book, to live your children's childhood, because it'll be gone in a heartbeat and it'll be too late. I love that part in this book. And so it's something that I'm going to take to heart and, make sure I remember to not be so busy earning, a living that I forget to have a life, and to neglect and to sacrifice and to have the casualty being the very people in my life that I'm trying to do all this for. You know what I mean? I love the idea of doing this quest for 25 years because it comes full circle when it's my son who goes through this university, who reads these books, who is given the key to his escape, to his freedom forever. Because he's not going to be given anything from me. He's going to be given loving parents, right? Incredible, beautiful mother, right? Hardworking, very positive, loving, I said that, father, right? Seeing his father and mother love and cherish each other. But he's also going to be given discipline. That's it. Discipline and loving parents. Nothing else. And that is how you're going to make a made man, just like I was when I was younger. Broke, was always told no, but had the most incredible mother. So, and even better if I had a mother and a father, which I did until I was 10. That's when my parents divorced. And I mean, that's even a greater gift than other people. If you can have a father figure in your life in the, those first stages of development, an invaluable gift, because you need a father in your life. The son, for all the masculine virtues that are lost today in terms of your role as a protector, as a provider, as a leader, as someone who's decisive, someone who takes action. All of those virtues you get from emulating a great masculine leader. And then a woman needs a father figure because they're the standard for the man that they should have as their future partner, because that's who they're replacing. And so I'm gonna abundantly spoil my daughter anything that she wants, and make it very clear that the person who you entertain as your suitor, this is the standard, because you're on your own with whoever you choose. So the best thing you can give your son is discipline and nothing. Best gifts you can give him, loving parents, and no money, no nothing, right? And the best thing you can give a woman is not trauma, is nothing but fucking endless spoils for my beautiful daughter, Alice. Love it. Simply follow the path of your dreams in full expectation of the bounty that is certain to flow. This will bring you to your divine destination. Everyone on this planet is a wonder in this world, a hero in one way or another. And I said the success cycle is the secret. This is literally from the book. Small victories lead to large victories. Tiny incremental changes and improvements such as those I have suggested will create positive habits. Positive habits will create results, and results will inspire you toward greater personal change. What the fuck is this? Belief, potential, action, results, over time, until. That is literally the success cycle. Literally from this book. That's a recurring theme in so many of the literatures that we've gone over in this university, and they will in many of the books to come. That is the secret to everlasting success and eternal happiness and freedom forever for you and your entire bloodline, your entire family forever. It starts with belief. Potential you tap into, results over time, until. Belief, potential, action, result over time, until you escape, until you make it. All right. Savor the journey. And I put the noble quest, smiley face. That's 1,000 books of Ratlife University. And then this is the summarization of the book on the last page. The 7 timeless virtues of enlightened living. Master your mind, follow your purpose, practice continuous self-discovery, they call it Kaizen in the book. Live with discipline, respect your time, selflessly serve others, embrace the present. Slytherin. The Monk Who Sold His Ferrari, book number 14 of Ratlife University, done. You know all of your homework assignments. Let's see if I can remember them all. Delete social media for a week. Pick up trash every single time that you see it. Turn water on the coldest setting the next time you take a shower. Be alone. Be alone. 15 to 50 minutes. Be alone. Right? I think there was another one. I'll list them for myself. In the future, I'm going to have all the actionables probably in the description of these videos maybe, or somewhere else. Perhaps on a website. Perhaps where my students could enroll within Ratlife University. Until then, this is book number 14, and we are all going to make it.